Welcome to the History of Marvel. Today's episode is Allison Blair. Allison Blair was born to Carter and Catherine Blair in the Long Island suburb of Gardendale, New York. Allison's parents had a tense relationship because her father was a stoic law student while her mother was a free-spirited entertainer. Ultimately, this led to Catherine walking out on Carter while Allison was still a toddler, leaving Carter to raise Allison with the help of his mother, Bella Blair. Catherine's leaving had a profound effect on Carter, who had kept the shameful secret of Catherine from Allison most of her life. As Allison entered adolescence and developed dreams of becoming a singer, her father, now a judge, became increasingly intolerant of the idea. Instead, Carter forced Allison to choose a life path similar to his own. Allison would become an academic star and continue on a path to law school. Allison's grandmother was more sympathetic to young Allison and encouraged her to explore her creative energies. However, Allison manifested her mutant abilities while performing at a junior high school dance, blinding all in attendance save for herself. For years, Allison kept her powers a secret from those closest to her, further alienating herself from her father. By the time she reached university, Allison began to explore both her powers and her musical ability. Allison crafted her own performing suit, accessories, and named herself the Dazzler. It was at this moment that Allison decided to abandon her father's dream. While at her graduation ceremony, Allison informed Carter that she would not be attending the law school he had selected for her and instead would pursue a life as a singer without her father's blessing or financial support. Dazzler used her light-based mutant powers as a draw for her performance, taking the sound of the music and converting it into dazzling displays of color. The young singer enough attention to land her gigs at several New York clubs and discotheques. Allison knew that she would have to keep the nature of her powers a secret. Marketing her light show as a technological secret, Allison was able to bypass critical speculation for some time. Yet while this little white lie fooled the club managers and others in her life, it did not escape the notice of Emma Frost, White Queen of the Hellfire Club, or Professor Charles Xavier, founder and mentor of the X-Men. Both the Hellfire Club and the X-Men sent entourages to a Dazzler performance to recruit Allison to their respective ideological sites. The X-Men sent Phoenix, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler to identify and possibly recruit her, while the Hellfire Club sent a group of Hellfire Knights to take her by force. The combined powers of Dazzler and the X-Men suppressed the foes and freed other members of the X-Men who were being held captive by the Hellfire Club. Professor Xavier offered Allison a position within the X-Men, but she declined, choosing to focus on her career. Subsequently, Allison became an increased target for superheroic phenomena. In one instance, Dazzler was possessed by the foe Lightmaster and was thankfully saved by Spider-Man. In another, Allie acquitted herself with Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, at a posh nightclub. As Dazzler was becoming more popular in the club circuit, Allison was becoming more known in the superhero circuit as well. This commingling of superheroes and career proved both beneficial and detrimental to Allison. Needing a well-deserved break, Allison took the advice of the Avenger Beast and auditioned and won a performance spot at an up-and-coming night spot, Numero Uno. Unfortunately, the singer bested the Enchantress, who was incensed by the outcome and vowed to have revenge upon Dazzler. As her new superheroic friends packed the club, the Enchantress summoned her minions, causing a large localized battle. It was Allison herself who sealed back the Enchantress's nefarious energies, ending her plans. Although she won a battle against a powerful adversary, Allison's performance was in ruins. Regardless, Allison continued to follow her dream. Allison signed on as a singer with a reputable agent, Harry Osgood. Harry hired Lancelot Steele as Allie's bodyguard. Dazzler was given a formal stage manager, backup band, and a knockout performance spot at a United Nations UNICEF charity summit. But before the performance, she encountered Dr. Doom, intent on stealing one of the Jewels of Doom, including a mythical one called the Merlin Stone, currently held on display at the UN. After a battle, Dr. Doom used Dazzler to retrieve another of these jewels from the villainous Nightshade in his nightmare dimension. Caught in the dimension, Dazzler was confronted with her own self-doubts and insecurities her father planted within her. Overcoming this obstacle, Allison retrieved the jewels and returned to Doom and destroyed them. Harry became increasingly curious over the nature of Allison's stage effects. Her technological secret was in question. When Harry confronted Allison about the nature of her powers, she stormed out defending her secret identity. To make matters worse, an old enemy of Osgood, Tech Master, sent the Enforcers, a group of mercenaries, after him. When Harry was kidnapped, Allison made it her mission to find and protect him. After defeating the Enforcers and saving Harry, she confessed to Harry her most hidden secret, that she was a mutant. Not knowing how the first non-superhero would react to such a revelation, Allison breathed a sigh of relief when Harry gave her his support and vowed to keep her technological secret safe. Intolerance swiftly turned into aggression, and upon witnessing Claw being tested by Pegasus technicians, Alice inadvertently freed the villain. Claw then turned his energies upon her, unaware that her mutant ability transformed sonic energy into light-based energy. As Dazzler began to absorb Claw's essence, she found she could not stop the process. Dazzler had fully absorbed Claw into her body, storing him as light energy. Unable to cope with the pressure of killing him, Dazzler used the energy to free herself from the confines of Pegasus. The strong energy signature alerted the cosmic entity Galactus to the young mutant who abducted her as a means of retrieving his renegade herald. Galactus imbued Dazzler with the power cosmic, a source of unlimited sound energy, allowing her to enter a black hole to retrieve the herald. Dazzler succeeded in her task and compassionately convinced Galactus to pardon Terrax and return her to Earth. Arriving in San Francisco for her next gig, Allison hired Jessica Drew to locate her mother, and the pair stumbled upon a room which was a SHIELD training facility modeled after the X-Men's Danger Room. Unfortunately for Dazzler, her act proved so good that it became a threat for the star, and Bruce nixed her from the tour. After Allison's last show, Kenneth approached her and the pair began to date. While on the flight back to the East Coast, Allison was transported to Asgard and forced into an arena match against the Enchantress. The match was stopped by Odin, and Dazzler and Enchantress were ordered to put on a concert to prove the better musician. Allison joined Flynn's group, the Gladiators, an underground group of mutant gladiators that battled one another to the death for the amusement of a wealthy human elite. Flynn used a drug that caused Allison to lose control of her powers to stay with the gladiators. Allison's light powers began to act out, and she fled to the beach where she was found by Poltergeist along with 6 other mutants from the Heartbreak Hotel. After repeated assaults, Dazzler returned to Professor X and asked for training. Professor X provided Allie with a new uniform that amplified and gave precision to her powers. Wolverine doubted her ability, so Dazzler agreed to let him test her skills. Wolverine and Colossus hunted her, but she outsmarted them both, proving she had what it takes. After Hank asked Allison to join his new team, X Factor, she declined and faked her own death to hide from the authorities and the press. Dazzler went back into hiding as a member of Leela's band. However, her inability to seize the spotlight was difficult for Allison. She became an easy target for the psychic entity Malice of the Marauders, who was eagerly looking for ways to attract the X-Men. Possessing Dazzler, Malice called the X-Men to her aid. Once Malice was defeated, Allison reluctantly joined the X-Men at the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, as her identity was compromised and her safety was at risk because of the Marauders. Allison's alliance with the X-Men brought many adventures. Dazzler accompanied the injured X-Men to Muir Island, following their defeat at the hands of the Marauders. Allison was forced to cooperate with reformed X-Men Rogue, a one-time adversary who had once wished to kill her. After fighting together, Dazzler learned to set aside her differences with Rogue. Allison also learned to rely on teamwork and cooperation, as she had been used to tackling the largest villains solo. While on Muir Island, Allison was deciding to quit the team and attempted to halt the Juggernaut on her own. Juggernaut was a big fan of Dazzler's and did not wish to cause her any harm at all. Allison passed out from overexertion. With the help of her team, the Juggernaut was defeated. Allison and Wolverine aided Oz Chase and Henry Gyrick with a drug-dealing mutant, Vladimir Vestiv. She cannot directly use sounds produced by her own body as a source of her power. Thank you for watching, and special thanks to the Marvel Database for all information you heard today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you can, if you have. Thank you, and have a nice day.